Welcome back to the Hype Skill, my boys. It's the MMA series I'm doing where I'm going over my personal, alright? My personal level of excitement and hype for the upcoming big bad UFC fights that we have for the month of July. Now for June, it was alright. We had really fun back-to-back pay-per-views full of excitement, finishes, and momentum shifting. And we also had Atlanta and Baku, which were a bunch of stinkers, but it is what it is. For every hit, there's a miss, I guess, you know? How this series works, think of it as a bit of a spectrum, if you will. A bit of a 1 to 10, if you want to think of it that way as well. The closer you are to Angry Dana on the left side of your screen, think of it as like that 1 out of 10. The closer you are in that red zone, the left side of your screen, I'm just not hyped for it. I could give two shits. My heart's not in it. It's not a fight I'm really thinking about in the build-up. There's just not a lot of concern. Then you have the middle ground, all right? That yellowish, that orange, the neutral area. Think of it like a 5 out of 10. These are the fights where there's good elements to it, but there's bad elements to it. It's a fight where it is a good scrap, and it's probably going to be exciting, or at least something to look forward to, but for me personally, it's not something I'm putting too much thought or emotion into, maybe until like the week of, you know what I'm saying? And then we have Pico, boys. Happy Dana on the right side of the screen. The closer I put a fight to the right side of the screen, obviously I'm very fucking excited for it, very hyped for it, really thinking about it, really putting my heart into it, and that's how this series is going to be working, man. So just getting into the first one we got here, Derek Lewis versus Taliesin Teixeira. This is the best. This is the battle of all time, bro. This is some Luffy versus Kaido shit. If I had to put a numerical fucking number on this, wait, is that even a thing? Numerical number. You know what I'm saying? If I had to put a number on this, like a 2 out of 10, man. Like, listen, I'm excited for the prospect that is Taliesin Teixeira. And Lewis, I mean, he does bring constant excitement and knockouts, well, most of the fucking time. But, man, I'm gonna just not really care about this fight until, like, the week of or something like that. And it's just, like, the thing about this fight, here's the fucking thing, you guys. I don't even think it's too bad, but I just think there's two problems with it, okay? One is the fact that it's a main event. Like, if this was somewhere on, like, the featured prelim for a pay-per-view, if this was just, like, the co-main event for a stacked fight night, or even, like, a featured fight, I could be totally happy with that. But the fact that Nashville is a pretty solid fight night, and this is the main event, it's just a little bit of a stain on it. Like, I do think it's going to end in a brutal finish for one guy or the other, so that's great for it. And I do think that Teixeira is going to be a great prospect for the division, the very shallow, blobby division we have right now, but still, like, it shouldn't be a main event. And something else as well, man, that really just is not making me a fan of this fight is that Teixeira is a genuinely good prospect for the division, and he got one fucking fight, one knockout over Justin motherfucking Tafa, and it was a great win. He got him out of there quick, but to just get such a shot up in the rankings, the fact that he got into the rankings right after that shows how shallow the division is, man. Riz Vankuniev just fucking lost. Some people thought it was a robbery, but even he lost, and he got entered in the top 15 right away. So now we're just losing debuts and getting entered in the rankings. So it's just like, that goes to show how shallow the division is, man. So I just think that this guy genuinely could be good, or already kind of is developing. He is young. He's got the Phantom Troop tattoo and shit as well. Like, the guy's kind of badass here. He's exciting, but man, the fact that he's getting rushed so soon, and like, if Derek Lewis just knocks him out, like, what are you gonna do next with him, man? We're gonna give him jail no mate or something like that, dude. It's just, those are my problems I have with the fight. I feel like if it was on a different card, or at least a different slot, I feel like I could be more okay with it, or looking a bit more forward to it, but it just is what it is, man. It's a bit of a S tier blob fest, but I just don't really care about this fight too much. Like, I'm going to be excited while I'm watching it, but it's not something I'm really putting too much thought into, and I have a couple of problems with it. So I'm going to put it pretty low on the spectrum here. Moving on up next to the goddamn opposite. We got Robert Whittaker versus RDR, man. I'm fucking hyped for this one. RDR is active as hell. The Looney Tunes goofy goober wet floor sign style is taking the fuck over. I feel like the universe is calling. It's yearning for DDP versus RDR, man. It would literally implode. But then we have him taking on Robert Whittaker. Man, I'm solidly excited for this fight. Like, there's a lot of interesting aspects of it that you can look forward to. Robert Whittaker is really well-rounded. He's a clean fighter, a bit chinny at times, and obviously, like, there's a bit more weaker elements to his game than others, but the dude is well-rounded. He puts on some solidly fun fights once in a while, man. Like, and I mean, God forbid he gets a finish once in a while, but I don't think he's that much of a, he's more so on the pillow puncher end of things. But still, man, the fight against Costa, the fights against Romero, shit like that, like the first fight against Izzy, like, the dude can bring on some exciting scraps, and I think that this one against RDR is going to be that. So if I had to put a number on this, I'll give it like a 7 out of 10, man. Like, I'm pretty excited for this fight, and I was pretty confident in Robert Whittaker taking this one, but the closer this one is getting, man, I feel like the plot armor of RDR could be too much, man, because RDR is well-rounded in his own right as well, man. Like, it's just a lot goofier. His striking is a lot sloppier, but he hits a lot harder than Robert Whittaker. That's the fucking thing. Like, if anyone's gonna get a finish in this fight, it's gonna be RDR, and if anyone's gonna make it a masterclass and just go out there and 49-46 him, it's gonna be Robert Whittaker. So I don't really know who's gonna win this one with confidence. I'm leaning towards Robert Whittaker. He's the slight favorite, but man, RDR is well-rounded in this goofy own sense, man, because the guy hits hard on the feet even though it's sloppy. He's good in the clinch. It lands hard to the body. His wrestling is something spectacular, man. We're gonna have to see if it's elite enough wrestling though, because Robert Whittaker has really good takedown defense and defensive grappling in general. So I feel like he's a good neutralizer to a lot of the problems that RDR can bring. But like I said earlier, he's a bit chinny, so I could see RDR rocking him, man, especially if it gets dangerous in the clinch for him. So I'm really curious to see how this one goes. I feel like it's going to be very high pace from RDR right out the gate, and once the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round takes over, I'm going to be very curious if RDR's cardio can go ahead and maintain that heavy pace, or if Whittaker's going to start piecing him up and taking over, because who the fuck knows, man? I feel like I've gone on record as saying this, man. The closer a fight is and the harder it is to predict, those are always the more fun ones, man. Like, usually when someone's like a minus 700 favorite, it's usually a wash or someone you can't really fucking yap about. So I love this fight. I would have loved to see it on a pay-per-view, but honestly, I'm glad it's getting its own main event attention. So I'm going to put this one solidly in like that yellowish or light green area. Like, I'm solidly excited for this fight, but obviously it's not maximum hype or not going too crazy over it. You know what I'm fucking saying? So moving on up next to another one from the Nashville card, we got Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. I'll put this slightly below the neutral ground, and don't get me wrong, this is a great fight. Just because I'm not like super highly anticipating a fight or really thinking about it too much doesn't make it bad matchmaking. Like, I actually think this is going to be a great fight that plays out on the feet. I think Kattar, this is a winnable fight for him to finally the Rock type shit, get back in the fucking win column. And for Steve Garcia, man, I feel like it's been forever since this guy fought, but this is one of the most under the radar prospects that we have right now, especially for the featherweight division, full of prospects making their way up. I think that Steve Garcia is going to knock his ass out, but I do think that it's a level of competition that Calvin Kattar can actually fucking win here, and I don't think either of these guys are going to try and mix it up on the ground. I think it's primarily just going to play out on the feet, and I feel like that plays into both of their fucking favor here. I feel like it's going to be great striking on display and in some kind of finish. Calvin Kattar can finally get a win, and Steve Garcia can put himself on the fucking map, because even though Kattar's been falling off, this is definitely a winnable fight for him. So again, it's good matchmaking. It's going to be exciting, but it's just Steve Garcia is not a prospect I'm putting too much emotion into, and Calvin Kattar obviously is on such a big decline, so it's not a fighter that, you know, I can really put too much more of my heart into, you know what I'm saying? So it's not bad matchmaking by any means, but for my personal hype, I'm gonna put it a little bit below neutral here, man. Moving on up next to Movsar Evloev versus Aaron Pico for the Abu Dhabi card. Here's the thing, man, I fucking hate this fight, and I think Evloev should just get the title shot. I swear to fuck, if they book Yair getting the title shot next, because they just did Silva versus Lopez, fantastic fight by the way, but god damn it, bro, if they're giving Yair the title shot, it's a goddamn disgrace, man, because Dana was saying that, oh, if Evloev wins this, he's going to be next, like genuinely next in line for Volkanovski sometime around the fall or winter. But man, with that being booked, Silva versus Lopez, that does not make me any more confident, dude. So that's a whole other thing. I swear to fucking God, though, man, like, I hate this fight, but honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to it in a way to where it's like a Tom Aspinall not being able to fight John Jones. Like, the fact that the company's kind of been doing him bogus has been making people really give them the right justice, and a lot of fans have been getting behind them. So honestly, I feel like the fight as well, even though I hate why it's being made, and I think that Yair getting the title shot is a goddamn cancer to the sport. This fucker is a doomsday device to the sport. I still would say that this fight is going to be exciting. Like, Aaron Pico does have solid takedown defense, and the guy's a good striker, but here's the thing, man, these Bellator guys don't have fucking shit, especially in the past couple of years for the UFC, man. Like, Chandler even is a guy who got a great debut win. How the fuck did he beat Dan Hooker? And ever since then, he hasn't done dick all. So I feel like these Bellator guys, man, like, they just randomly get these super high level fights, and they usually are coming up short. And even if they do win, they aren't doing much in the UFC in general. And like I said earlier, Kuniev just showed up from the PFL, a big guy who had kind of some momentum behind him because he beat Brandon Verdera or whatever the fuck his name is. But then he went out there and he lost to Bloody Man Blade. So at the end of the fucking day, I think that Aaron Pico's a solid fighter. I think he can beat a solid amount of guys in the rankings. But Movsar Evloev, man, is the true deserving #1 contender who has underrated striking. I feel like he just lacks the fucking finishing ability, on the feet and on the ground, and that's what fucking holds him back, man, because the skill set is there. The wrestling is really fucking good to where he can kind of hang with a guy like Aljamain Sterling, and the striking is good enough to where he can kind of hang with a guy like Arnold Allen, and it all comes together to make him well-rounded. Say whatever you want, because he arguably did lose both of those fights. I realize that as I'm saying it out loud. Like, I had Sterling and Allen winning those fights, but it is what it fucking is, man. Like, Movsar Evloev's striking is underrated, offensively and defensively. He's a high-pressure fighter, and he knows how to mix it up on the ground as well, and he has really good cardio, so I feel like he's going to be a nightmare matchup for Pico. I haven't even said where I'm going to put this one. It'll be on your screen already, but I'm going to put it, like, slightly above neutral. My heart is in it, and I'm invested in it. But the thing is, like, I'm not necessarily excited or hyped for it, but, like, I'm really curious about the outcome, and I'm really, like, excited to watch it, and my eyes are going to be glued to the fucking screen like some Looney Tunes shit. So for that, I'm going to put it like slightly above neutral. The fact that it'll probably be an exciting fight, the fact that even if Evloev is winning up 4 rounds and going into that 5th, you know Pico has a good chance at knocking him out. So there's shit like that. There's interesting aspects to it, but Yair Rodriguez is a doomsday device to the fucking sport, and the fact that we're getting this is an absolute disgrace. But there's aspects to it. Like, I'm curious about the outcome, and I feel like it's going to be an exciting fight. And again, fans are getting behind Evloev now because of all this bullshit, to where I'm going to put it slightly above neutral here, man. Moving on up next to Kevin Holland taking on D-Rod here, man. This was just announced for UFC 318. I feel like it's a solid scrap, but it is what it fucking is, man. I feel like it could have given Kevin Holland a bit of a better opponent here. They were getting D-Rod shots back in the rankings in the big old 2025 before GTA 6. It is what it is, man. I feel like this is a solid fight to have on the card, but I'm not really excited for it, man. Like, it's gonna play out pretty fun on the feet, and I'm curious to see the outcome here. Kevin Holland is active as all fuck. This is his 4th fight this year, and this is going down in fucking July, man. So respect to Kevin Holland for the crazy activity. He's really a man of his word and is really trying to get 6 fights in this year, win or fucking lose. And I do think this is going to be a relatively easy win for him here. But honestly, I'm going to put this, if I had to put a number on it, maybe like a 2 or 3 out of 10, man. Like, I'm really not too excited for this one. Like, it's solid to have on the card because 318 was looking shite, but they've been announcing a couple of fights lately where it's like, I don't think Neil Magny versus Gunnar fucking Nelson's going to be on the main card anymore. Thank God, because, man, having Vettori and Allen as the co-main, which I'm about to get to right after this, is a bit of a fucking war crime here, okay? But they're adding a couple of solidly bangers of fights to where it's like, I am excited for 318. I feel like they're kind of building it up a bit, so I can appreciate that. Costa vs. Kopylov was just added to it, so there's shit like that, man. But in general, this is a fight to where I feel like it's going to be fun. I feel like it's going to be a striking battle. I feel like it's going to end in a finish. But again, D-Rod getting a shot in the rankings and Kevin Holland just facing a jabroni. It is what it fucking is, man. I know D-Rod's coming off of a nasty fucking knockout over Ponzinibbio. I was there live. Thank you for the fucking entertainment. But still, I'm just not really going to be putting too much thought or emotion or excitement into the fight until it kind of happens, or at least the week of or something, and I start yapping about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put this pretty left on the spectrum here. Not the absolute worst. I'm going to put it slightly above like a Lewis and Teixeira, but I don't even know if I should. You know what I'm saying? So that's the level we're talking here. So not really looking forward to this one too much, but also it definitely does help the card. So I can't complain about it, but just not really, my heart's not in it. You know what I'm saying? So moving on up next to another one on the same card here, the co-main event, Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. Here's the fucking thing, you guys. If this wasn't the co-main event, I feel like I would be really praising this fight. But the fact that it's the co-main of a pay-per-view in the big old 2025 is garbage, y'all. And you fucking know it, man. Like, these guys have genuine beef. There's a bit of a storyline here. So the press conference is going to be fun, all right? You got Brendan Allen yapping and yipperish. And then you got Marvin Vettori. How the fuck is that even a question? His bitch ass is going to be yapping all day. So these guys have genuine beef. There's a bit of a backstory. And I feel like it's a winnable fight for Vettori. It's a winnable fight for Allen. It's in Allen's backyard. I believe he's from Louisiana. So they're like, and I feel like it's going to be a good matchup on paper. over. Like, I feel like it could be a relatively exciting fight here. Brendan Allen does put on some bangers once in a while, man. Not even once in a while. Like, the guy actually is relatively exciting. He just shows low fight IQ, and he is on a bit of a losing skid right now. But in general, man, like, there are a lot of good elements to this fight. So I'm going to put it slightly above the neutral ground here, maybe closer to neutral. I don't fucking know. You'll see it on your screen. But in general, man, like, I think the fact that this is the co-main of a pay-per-view is just bullshit, man. It's just disgraceful, bro. Like, you could have put a Prochazka versus Olberg, a Saryukian versus Hooker, a Strickland versus Izzy 2. Just something of substance and a bit of name value to where Marvin Vettori and Brendan Allen does have name value. And it is a good scrap, but you could open up the pay-per-view with it. Or you could fucking have it be the featured fight. But the fact that it's a co-main, the second most highly anticipated fight of the card, man, it's just a bunch of bullshit, man. It's a jabroni shit here because I do like this fight. I am looking forward to it. I don't really know who's going to be the clear winner yet. I would lean towards Allen to take this one. Vettori looked like shit against Roman Dolidze in the rematch, and I feel like that's a big red flag right there. So in general, like, I'm very curious about the outcome. I feel like it'll be exciting. I feel like the build-up's going to be entertaining. Both these guys have absolute brain rot, and they're lacking the chromies, homie. But in general, I'm going to put it slightly above neutral. Maybe it'd be a little bit higher if it wasn't for the disgrace that it's a pay-per-view co-main, because that puts a bad taste in my fucking mouth. But in general, this is good matchmaking. I'm not going to complain about it too much. I am looking forward to it. I'll put it slightly above neutral here, man. And moving on to another one that we have for UFC 318, Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. This is one of the ones where I'm putting it smack dab in the middle. This is a genuine 5 out of 10 for me. It's very neutral because I am excited for this fight. Like, I think it's going to be a scrap. Both these guys are great prospects. I know Phillips is coming off a loss to Robbie Font, but Robbie Font beats everybody except for the upper echelon of the division. So I don't think it says anything about Phillips, and I believe he did take a round off of him. But Robbie Font, the big bald maniac, he's on a resurgence right now, baby. Yeah, so in general, I think Phillips is still a solid fighter. He's not that too active. He only fights like once a year, so that's a bit of a turn off from him. But in general, Vinicius Oliveira, he's active, he's exciting, he's becoming more and more well-rounded. He's dynamic and dangerous as fuck on the feet. He's got crazy KO power, and we saw against Said Nurmagomedov, he's developing with the takedown and defensive grappling a bit in general. So if he makes it to where he becomes a well-rounded fighter, and he is continuously working on the grappling and the wrestling, then dude, I sound like Bilal Muhammad. I'm the best grappler, I'm the best wrestler, but all that shit, dude. I'm just saying, if he really continues to develop, he's going to be really fucking dangerous for this weight class, because he's massive for it as well, man. So in general, man, I'm putting this in the neutral ground and not a bit higher because I think it's going to be an exciting fight. I am excited to see the outcome of this. I don't really know clearly who's going to win, but I am leaning towards Oliveira. I'm a very big believer in his skill set, and I think he's going to go far. He's fucking dangerous, but the fact that I'm not really invested in both these guys, my heart's not in it. Like, this isn't like a Volkanovski who's my favorite fighter, or a Yuri Prochazka, one of my favorite fighters. There's nothing like that. So it is going to be neutral. I think this is good matchmaking. I think it should be on the main card, or it should be the feature prelim. Get Neil Magny and Gunnar Nelson the fuck out of here, bro. Swear to God, if that's up above this, that's some absolute bullshit. So this fight in general, I think it's going to be exciting. I think both these guys are young up-and-comers who have a lot of promise here. Even though Phillips is coming off a loss and Oliveira's on a bit of a win streak, I still think that both of them are very promising here. I want to see, because I think Phillips is going to be very heavy on the wrestling offense that if Oliveira's takedown defense, because I do think Phillips is a better fighter and a better grappler than a guy like Said Nurmagomedov. So I'm curious to see if he goes with the wrestling heavy approach, how Oliveira's going to do. But Phillips can be a bit caught on the feet, man. Like, he leaves his chin a bit open. Robbie Font was piecing him the fuck up, and Vinicius Oliveira hits fucking harder than him. So in general, I'm very curious at the outcome of this. I think it's going to be exciting. It's a bit of a prospect versus prospect matchup here, where both guys are around like that 11 to 15 range in the rankings. So I'm very curious about it, man. I think it's great that it's getting the attention on the pay-per-view, but I'm putting it in the neutral ground because yes, I am putting thought into it, and yes, I'm excited for it, but it's something where it's just going to sneak up on me until like the week of the fight. I'm like, oh, this is a banger that we got right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, my heart's not all the way too invested in either of these guys. So moving on up next, man, to Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier, the trilogy. Hey, it is what it is, brother. We're going to find out July 18th, man. Here's the thing about this fucking fight, dude. When it first got announced, I, like a bunch of other people, I mean, I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but I don't know about y'all, man. I was not a fucking fan of this this fight, bro. It seemed like that was the general consensus. Everybody was like, why is this being booked? Like, Holloway's 2-0 against him, or you could have given Holloway, like, in his first real full move to lightweight. I know that he's fought Poirier in the past at lightweight. I know that he fucking just beat up Justin Gaethje 49-46 and knocked him the fuck out last year. So, like, this isn't Holloway's first move at lightweight by any means, but it's his first fight where he's like a fully fledged lightweight. Like, now he's in the lightweight rankings, like, officially, and he's booted out of fucking featherweight. Now he's like serious about this full-time move, and he's not cutting down to featherweight probably ever fucking again. So that's what I mean by this is Holloway's first big fight really at lightweight for the permanent future. And the thing is, man, like, I just thought you could have given Holloway like a Saryukian or a fucking Charles Oliveira or a fucking Paddy Pimblett or a Chandler or someone like that. But I try and avoid rematches whenever I can, unless you kind of really have to fucking make it here, because I feel like if you can make fresh matchups, make the fucking fresh matchups. You know what I'm saying? But in general, over the past couple of weeks, this fight has grown on me like Pops from regular show's fucking head. It blew up like a balloon. Like, I'm really looking forward to this fight now. I'm gonna put it closer to the green, maybe like that yellowish light green area here. If I had to put a number on it, maybe like a strong 7 out of 10. I dare say like a yeah, I'll keep it as like a strong 7 out of 10. I'm looking forward to this fight, man. I'm genuinely excited for it. I've been going with Max Holloway. I'm confident that that's my pick, but I could totally see Dustin Poirier shine bright like a diamond. Like, I could totally see him going out there and getting that hometown win. Like, Jesus Christ, this whole card has been built around him, and the guy fucking deserves it. He's literally one of the greatest fighters, if not the greatest fighter to never win the undisputed belt. He's a huge fan favorite. He's a fucking superstar. Hey, he's out here making the hot sauce and shit. So this fight, when it first got announced, like, we all knew that it was going to be a banger on paper. Like, obviously, it's going to be a very exciting fight. Probably going to end in a brutal fucking finish for one guy or the other. But man, I just really didn't understand the matchmaking. I thought you could have done Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier would have been a better like retirement fight, because those guys at least are 1-1. You could have done Dustin Poirier versus Ilia Topuria if Topuria wasn't just gonna get a title shot right away. Like, I thought those would have been better matchups for Poirier. I thought there was better things for Holloway. But now that the dust is fucking settled, now that the tumbleweeds are blowing the fuck away, and I really just am accepting this fight for being what it is, and we're just getting it no matter what, it's really grown on me a lot. Like, if you asked me when this fight was initially announced, this shit would have been in the goddamn red. It would have been closer to angry little Dana on the left side of your screen. But in general, man, this fight's been growing on me a shit ton. I feel like it's going to be a absolute barn burner, but we already knew that, right? The thing that's really been making it grow on me is because I see why the UFC did it, man. Because Max Holloway, he's got the BMF belt. They want Dustin Poirier to at least have some kind of belt on the line for the headliner. And that I don't really necessarily love. Like, I think you could have had like a Gaethje versus Poirier 2 or a Topuria versus Poirier just headline a retirement card anyways, and you might not need the belt. But I understand you want to bring in that casual fan base. You want to bring in everybody that like knows what the BMF belt is, or just in general, like a lot of people, casuals or hardcores or whatever the fuck. Maybe your mother even knows who Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway are, and the fact that there is the BMF belt on the line, like, I understand it. But the big reason why I'm excited for this fight, even more so besides the fact that it's going to be a banger and an absolute scrap and going to be a brutal fucking finish, the reason why, man, is because I get why the UFC really booked this one for the storyline, okay? The fact that it was Max Holloway's first fight in the UFC against Dustin Poirier, and now it's the whole parallel, it's Dustin Poirier's last fight against Max. Like, honestly, even though that Holloway is 0-2 against Poirier, and the fact that he's just bad in trilogies in general, man. He's 0-3 against Volkanovski, so he needs this fucking win. I do like the lore, man. And the fact that it's fucking Poirier's last fight, like, a lot of us are going to be emotional that week, man. You're going to see the shine bright like a diamond memes in all of your fucking feeds. So good luck with that, man. But in general, like, even on paper, that shit might just be annoying or a bit cringy. But, man, it's making me emotional, man. It's making me excited. Like, I'm looking forward to that. And I can appreciate the storyline to it. I can appreciate that it's just a whole full circle moment here. So I understand Poirier wanted different opponents, and I'm sure that Holloway, this might not be his most ideal opponent, because if Poirier beats him and just leaves him 0-3 in this trilogy as well, he's just going to retire after this for sure. And then Holloway is just stuck in a bubble where it's like, well, now I'm on a 2-fight losing streak, and then this guy just bounced and I'm 0-3 against him. So there's shit like that makes me turned off from the fight, because this is kind of a I don't want to say a lose-lose situation for Holloway, but if he does beat Poirier, there's going to be some fat jabronis in the comments that are like, oh, Holloway only beat Poirier because Poirier, it was his retirement fight and this was an old man Poirier. Shut the fuck up, man. Like, Poirier gave Islam Makhachev last year a very fucking tough test. So I think Poirier is going to be game bred. I think he's going to be ready for this. And this fight, man, has just grown on me a lot. I appreciate the storyline. It's going to be a barn burn. This is the one that me and my buddies are going to be watching and drinking to, and I could show the casuals this, man. You know what I'm saying? So in general, I appreciate the full circle moment of it. I don't like certain aspects to it. The fact that I think you could have done better opponents for each guy, but it is what it fucking is. And the fact that I think that Holloway, if he does win or lose, I think that this is kind of a lose-lose situation for him, but it is what it fucking is, man. Like, I think it's going to be a great scrap. I'm looking forward to it. Not close to maximum hype or peak or anything like that. I'm kind of just, like I said earlier, we're kind of just settling for it, but I can't complain about it, man. Like, it's been growing on me a lot. I'm excited for it, and I'm really looking forward to it. If I had to put a number on it, like a strong 7 out of 10. So, moving on up next to Stephen Thompson versus Gabriel Bonfim going down for Nashville. I'm going to put this one slightly below neutral, and it's nothing wrong with the fight. Like, at first, I thought this was garbage matchmaking, but honestly, like, I'm kind of cool with this fight. I really had to realize, I'm like, oh, Stephen Thompson, this is probably going to be his last fight, especially if he loses. Like, why not give him a striker or a legend, or even if you're going to give him a wrestler, why not give him a Kobe Covington? Like, I was saying that kind of shit, and I do think in a way that Stephen Thompson does deserve that respect, because if he wins, I could see him retiring, and if he loses, I could see him retiring, man, because the guy is consistently losing a lot of fights. But that's what made me kind of really realize that, like, I understand why they're doing this, because there's at a point in time where you gotta fight the new guard, man. Like, Gabriel Bonfim, he is unranked. He's 17-1, I believe, off the top of my head, and the guy is a great submission artist, and I feel like that's a nightmare matchup for Thompson, because Gabriel Bonfim, he can hang on the feet. He does have solid striking and solid pop on his shots, but he's much more comfortable on the ground. He's really good with his takedown entries and slick submissions in general. The guy, most of his wins, I believe, are via sub. So I know he just got a loss last year, but he got a bounce back win this year against KS Williams, so he is beatable. He can get beaten up, and Thompson, I feel like, is a good enough striker, and even though he's getting up there in age, he's reaching Grunkle status, my boys. It's sad to see. He was fighting Tyron Woodley for the belt like it was fucking yesterday, but even though he's getting up there in age, and he's not the quickest he's ever been, he's not the most powerful he's ever been, he's not the most devastating on the feet he's ever been, his takedown defense isn't holding up as great as it used to, but in general, I still think he is dangerous. I think this is a winnable fight for Stephen Thompson regardless. I think his striking is just a bit of a level above a guy like Gabriel Bonfim, who again is solid on the feet, but Stephen Thompson, man, people forget, man, this guy is a marauder on the feet, dude. In general, he's very quick, great footwork and head movement, and I know that Buckley knocked him out. I know he's been finished in the past couple of years, and I understand that, like, his best win over the past 5 years is like Kevin Holland, and that's not really aging too well, but that was an absolute fucking war, and Kevin Holland chose not to shoot the takedowns or anything, so say what you want about that one, but I still think that even though he's getting up there in age, again, he's reaching Grunkle status here, I think that Stephen Thompson's striking is good enough, and his takedown defense can still hold up to where, man, I really don't know who's going to win this one. I think that the matchmaking is fine. Like, I do understand it, man. Like, if Stephen Thompson was kind of winning one, losing one, winning one, losing one, then yeah, book him against, like, I mean, I would say an MVP, but I just found out recently they're fucking friends and they won't fight each other, so that sucks. But even, like, if you're going to give him a wrestler, Kobe Covington, but even Kobe Covington probably doesn't want the smoke here, man. He's more of a Twitch streamer nowadays anyways, and he denied the fight against Kevin Holland. I don't know who the fuck he's going to fight, so in general, I just think I understand where the UFC's coming from. You do kind of have to fight somebody outside the rankings at this point. He keeps consistently losing fights, and he's already like 42 years old. So I understand that he has to face on the new guard. I'm really hoping he pulls through and gets a win here, but I'm fucking worried for him. I don't know who's going to win this one, but in general, I'm putting it slightly below neutral. Like, there's parts of it I'm excited for, and I'm really rooting for Stephen Thompson, but it's just not a fight where my heart's all the way in it, and I'm probably just going to get a lot more hype for it the week of. It's not really a matchup I'm too crazy about until the week of, but it's a great addition to have on the card. It's fine matchmaking, but in general, a couple of red flags here, and it's not something that my heart's all the way in. So moving on to the last one we got here, man. This is a simple but sweet one. Petr Yan versus Marcus McGhee. I'm going to put this in like slightly below like a Holloway versus Poirier 3. Something around that area, but definitely less of that. You know what I'm saying? So kind of around like that in between of that yellow and green. Something like that, man. So I'm somebody who at first I really hated this fight, but this is just like another one. Like, it's really been growing on me a lot, because I understand that if you weren't going to give Petr Yan the title shot against Merab, and if you weren't going to give him a Corey Sandhagen, who is just going to be fighting Merab, you really could give Yan anybody in the fucking rankings. And Marcus McGhee, he's like 36 years old or something like that. He's a goddamn grunkle of a prospect on the rise right now. So if you're going to push him at any fucking time, it's going to be right now. Because if he wins, great. He's another great guy that we have in the top 5. And if he loses, that's okay too. It goes to show how elite Petr Yan is. And he's really been developing a win streak here. So at first, I didn't like this matchmaking, but it really is growing on me when I really consider, like, okay, Merab and Sandhagen, they're going to be booked for later this year. And I would much rather see Merab versus Sandhagen than a rematch between Merab versus Yan. And no disrespect to Yan at all, but the dude got whooped in the first fight, man. Like, that was one of Merab's best wins, man. Like, before we're seeing finishing Merab now, like, he was 50-45 in Yan, and Yan didn't really have all dick for him. So, in general, like, this fight, I understand why they're booking it for multiple reasons, and it's a barn burner on paper. Like, Marcus McGhee brings a heavy pace, he's solidly well-rounded, and he's very dangerous on the feet, he's got great boxing. And Petr Yan, though, is an elite well-rounded, because we know how good the wrestling is and the takedown defense is, and his striking is so crisp. I dare say it's fucking pretty to watch, man. Like, the dude is so elite and so impressive, and the only reason, like, you could argue that this is one of the most underrated bantamweights of all time. You could really make an argument that he's the second or third greatest bantamweight of all fucking time when you look at the skill set, when you look at his resume, and when you look at the losses he does have, like against Sean O'Malley, razor close fight, and against fucking Aljamain Sterling in the rematch, razor close fight. I think that O'Malley and Sterling legitimately did beat him, but still, they're close fights, man. So Petr Yan is so fucking elite. I think that goes to show why he's going to be such a big favorite in this fight. But in general, man, like, this is an absolute barn burner. I could see Marcus McGhee mixing it up on the ground. I could see Petr Yan mixing it up on the ground, but regardless, I think this is a barn burner of a fight. It's going to be very high paced. I wish it was 5 rounds, especially because Yan is a bit of a slow starter in that first round, but he can also get the fuck after it at times in the first as well. He was piecing up Figueiredo in that first round when they fought last time. So I'm excited to see the return of Petr Yan, and I'm excited to see how Marcus McGhee can really hang with the elite level, because it was a great win over Jonathan Martinez, and he was beating him at his own game in the leg kicks, but in general, I'm just very curious to see if he can hang at that elite level, and I think it's going to be a fantastic fight on paper. I'm curious to see which guy takes it to the ground, and if this fight really does just play out on the feet for all 3 rounds, it's going to be very high-paced, might end in a finish, and it's going to be exciting. So I'll put it right there in between that neutral and peak, like kind of in that yellowish green, something like that. And that is going to be it here for the video, man. Thank you so very much for giving me your time and attention, my boys. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what you think of my placements on this little spectrum here, and let me know which fights for July you're looking the most forward to or the least forward to, yada fucking yada. I would absolutely love to hear it, man, so please let me know. And again, thank you so very much for giving me your time and attention. Give this video a like. Please hit subscribe. It means the fucking world to me. So in general, appreciate y'all a lot, man. All the smoke here. Enjoy the big bad card we have tomorrow. Appreciate y'all a lot. Hope you have a good one, boys, and I will see you all next time.